Welcome. Today I'm going to just review with you how to install the Honeywell T-Series thermostat profile. Um, so once you've purchased that profile from me, you'll get a zip file that will have three profiles in it, along with installation document and a um, little Honeywell config tool. So we'll start off by going to the installation document. And when we open that, we're going to go through and pretty much make sure that we follow these instructions to a T. I have a lot of details in here that will help you through a lot of these steps. Um, so once you've done the first step, which is importing the three new profiles into your config, then you're going to want to go ahead and run this config tool. So what the config tool does is it gets two very important things, refresh token and the device IDs for the thermostats that you're using. To do that, we need to authorize the profile to communicate with the Honeywell servers. What you can do is either use a smart device to scan this QR code or go to this link here. Now, when we click on this link, it's going to open up a web page. And the web page is going to log you right into the Honeywell home site. Keep in mind you have to have the thermostat set up with the Honeywell home app prior to doing this. Once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and log in. Now, this should be the client's login information, not yours, the client's login information. So you're going to hit the login button. It's going to say, are you sure you want to allow access to your account? You're going to say yes, allow. And then it's going to say which thermostats did you want to allow. And you're going to want to make sure that you click on all of them so they all have checkboxes here. And then we're going to hit connect. Then what's going to happen is we're going to flip to another page that's going to give us a code. And we're going to want to use this code, and I can highlight this and copy it. Or if the client did it on their phone or something like that, they can click this send link and it'll create an email and they can email that to you. Now this code is case sensitive, so you're going to want to make sure that you keep that exactly the way it is. So I've copied this. And then we're going to go ahead and run the config tool, which is right here, step 2.5. Go back to my folder here. And I'm running this config tool. And this config tool, when it runs, is going to ask for the authorization code from the client. So that's this code that we just got. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in here and hit the enter button. And it does a bunch of things, and you might need to make this window a little bit bigger to see everything. You're going to get what's called the refresh token here. We're going to need that. And you're going to get all the names of the thermostats and their device IDs. The other thing you're going to get is the location ID. So once we've done this, we want to keep this window open because we'll use that for a reference. And we're going to go through these steps now for blueprint configuration here. So we're going to go ahead and open up the library. And we're going to find the, I'm actually just going to type in GTS because it's going to give me the profiles that I'm looking for. So I need the bridge profile. This is CLI-bridge, CLI bridge, and I need the script bridge. For those of you seeing this Nest profile, that is the old profile. It no longer works, so don't get excited thinking that that is something new in development. It is not. That is the old profile. And then I want the new T-Series profile. All right, once I've placed these, and I need to make sure that my host is placed, I do need a network switch to connect all this stuff in. So I'm going to grab a network switch. Now I'm going to make all my connections. Now, it's pretty important that we follow the instructions for each of these profiles because they do have some very specific connections that need to be made. So let's look at the Cli Bridge. It's saying make sure you set the IP on the wire to this. So I'm going to go ahead and make that connection and set that IP address. Now the script bridge, make sure you set the IP to the actual IP address of the host. And look at this, in the host name field on the profile, make sure you enter zone name as it appears in the zone list here of Savant. So I need to open up my system monitor, and I will use this IP address, which is 130. And then I also need to go in here and take care of that other thing, which is in the host name. I need to name it a room that exists, and it has to be a user room. It cannot be a room like that. That's a global zone. So I'm going to call it room 1 to match my config. And then in here, I need to install the script bridge, CLI bridge, and follow those instructions. I've done that. And then I need to make sure that the IP address is that. And then I need the config tool, which I've already run, to get the refresh token and the address and location IDs. So let's go ahead and go in here. We're going to make this connection. And then I want to open this, go to my state variables, and I need to find my config tool here. Here we go. So here's my refresh ID. Copy, paste, and then I need to add my thermostat. So I need to generate services in order to get into my thermostat table. We open up the thermostat table, HVAC, and I'm going to add my two thermostats here. I'm going to set them both to zones. And let's see here. So my first one is the kitchen T6. And here is its ID. Now make sure to get the LCC. Make sure you're not getting any spaces before or after any of these IDs. So this is address 1. And address 2 for all the thermostats is going to be this location ID. That's important to put that in. Because if you don't put that in, it will not work properly. And then this is the guest bedroom T10. Okay, so that is all set. Now I have done everything for this profile. I've walked through all these steps. Let's see here, and then done this data table. And here's where I put the location ID is the same for all the thermostats under address 2. And make sure that when you're done with that, that you make sure that your T10 thermostat is configured properly. These are the steps to configure your T10 thermostat. There you go. You should be up and running now. Just generate this, upload it to your host, and everything should be working. Let me know if you have any problems. Have a good day.